4 divided 2 times 7 minus parenthesis 6 plus 3 parenthesis closed. How do you solve this? Options are 5 factorial, B 5 to the power minus 1, C 3125 under fifth root, and D 0. So as per the order of operation, since we have too many operations here, we have to decide which operation to do first, and this is decided by order of operation called PEMDAS, or you can also follow PEMDAS or BODMAS or BIDMAS. These all stand for the same thing. P here stands for parenthesis, brackets, and these are smaller brackets, curly bracket and box bracket, three kinds of brackets. First we solve smaller bracket, then curly, and then this box bracket. E is for exponent, order, indices, roots. So after parenthesis we solve exponent, order or indices or roots. Then comes multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Now you can follow PEMDAS or PEDMAS or BODMAS or BIDMAS. Only thing you have to remember that this multiplication, division, they are grouped together and they are solved from left to right, whichever comes first. Now if you follow this left to right rule, then you won't make a mistake, because if you follow PEDMAS, you see division is written first, while in PEMDAS multiplication is written first. But left to right rule means whichever comes first from left to right. For example, you follow PEMDAS, in which M is written first, and you don't follow left to right rule. Let's say you get the question like 5 divided 10 times 2. If you follow letters, then you will do multiplication first. So 10 times 2 is 20. 5 divided by 20, that will be 5 upon 20 or 1 upon 4. In that case, you get 1 upon 4 as your answer. But if you follow left to right rule, that means you have to first solve the division, whether you follow PEMDAS or PEDMAS. So if you follow left to right rule, what will be the answer? First you will do division, so it will be 5 upon 10, then times 2. That means 5 times 2 is 10, 10 upon 10, answer will be 1. You see the difference in the answer? Now if there is a parenthesis like this, in that case we will do multiplication first, because it is inside the parenthesis, or else we will follow the left to right rule. Now this left to right rule, it works between multiplication, division, and between addition, subtraction. Otherwise, if you get division and subtraction, you will do division first, because division is first and then there is subtraction. If you get multiplication or division and then addition, you will do this multiplication or division first. Now let's take another example to better understand the left to right rule. Consider this example: 30 divided 3 parenthesis 6 minus 9. Now in this question, we first do parenthesis. 6 minus 9 will be a negative number. Why? Because we cannot subtract 9 from 6. So what we have to do? We subtract 6 from 9 and then write the symbol of the bigger number. Here 6 is positive 6 and 9 is negative 9. So we add 6 to negative 9. If you want to understand it, consider that you have a debt of $9 and you are returning $6. Okay, that means you are still in debt of $3 that you have to return. $3 in debt means you are in negative 3. You are still in negative because you are in debt. So this is what negative means. Now this negative sign is with minus, is with this 3. So we write it like this, minus 3. Now this doesn't mean that 3 minus 3, because we have this parenthesis and this here means it is multiplication. So this is not 30 divided 3 minus 3. It is 30 divided 3 times minus 3. If there was any other sign here like plus or minus, then what would be the answer? We would have done plus multiplied to minus, because these signs would also then multiply. Plus minus minus. If there was minus, then minus times minus would have been plus. But here, since there is no sign, that means here we have multiplication. Okay. Now you have to do the left to right rule, because we have division and multiplication. So from left to right, we have division. 30 divided by 3 will be 10. Then 10 times minus 3. Now you have to multiply this negative also. So 10 multiplied to minus 3 will be equal to minus 30, because 10 is positive. So positive multiplied to negative is negative. So answer will be minus 30. So this you have to keep in mind, that whenever there is no sign between the parentheses, here it means multiplication. So the negative sign here does not mean that we will subtract it. It is for multiplying with 3. So minus 3 times 3 it will be. Now here in this question, we have division and multiplication from left to right, but there is parenthesis also. So first we will solve the parenthesis. So we'll write all other operations as it is. 4 divided 2 times 7 minus 6 plus 3 is 9. Once you did the operation, we will remove the bracket. We write 9. Now there is division, multiplication and subtraction. We cannot do subtraction before division or multiplication. Now we will do the left to right rule. So even if you follow PEMDAS, you see, now you have to choose between division and multiplication. So you choose from left to right. So 4 divided by 2 will be 2. Then times 7 minus 9. Again between multiplication and subtraction, we will do multiplication first, because subtraction is at the end. So 7 times 2 is 14. 14 minus 9 is equal to 5. So 5 is the answer. Now let's check the options here. 5 factorial. 5 factorial means product of all the positive integers till 5. So 5 factorial is 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. 4 factorial is 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. So 5 factorial is much bigger than 5. So A is not the correct answer. 5 to the power minus 1. What does this mean? When A is raised to the power minus 1, it means 1 upon A. Multiplicative inverse of the base raised to the positive power of the exponent. So exponent is 1 raised to the positive power. So 1 upon A raised to the power 1, or simply we can write 1 upon A. So when 5 is raised to the power minus 1, it is equal to 1 upon 5. So this is also not the correct answer. Now 3125 under fifth root. What does this fifth root means? Fifth root means 3125 is raised to the power of 1 upon 5. Square root means A is raised to the power of 1 upon 2. Cube root means A is raised to the power of 1 upon 3. This 3 becomes the denominator in the exponent. So it is 1 upon 3. A is fourth root of A means A is raised to the power of 1 upon 4, and fifth root of A will mean A is raised to the power of 1 upon 5. Now 3125, can we factorize it? Whenever there is 5 or 0 at the end of a number, that means that number is divisible by 5. So this is the rule of divisibility by 5. Number with ending 5 or 0 at the units place, that number is divisible by 5. So 3125, there is 5 at the end. That means this is divisible by 5. So we can start dividing it by 5. This is not divisible by 2, because at the units place we have an odd number. For divisibility by 2, we need even number at the units place. For divisibility by 3, what we check? We add the digits. 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11. So it is also not divisible by 3 again not divisible by 4 because 4 is also an even number. We have it is not divisible by 4. That means we need to start from 5. It is divisible by 5. Usually we start from a smaller number, and since it is not divisible by 2, 3 or 4, we start from 5. Now 5 times 6 is 30. 1 is carried over here. Now this becomes 12. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 becomes carry over here, and this becomes 25. 5 times 5 is 25. This is how we do the division. You can do the division like this also. 3125 divided by 5. 5 times 6 is 30. So you subtract it, bring down the next number in line. It is 12. Now 5 times 2 is 10. Bring down the 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Or you can simply do it in your mind also. Once you practice this method, you will be able to do it. Now 5 times 1 is 5 again. Now here we have 1 carryover. This is 12. 5 times 2 is 10. This now 2 carryover. This is 25. 5 times 5 is 25. 125 again it is divisible by 125 divisible by 5. 25 times 5 is 125, and 5 times 5 is 25. So 3125 is equal to 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, or we can write it as 5 to the power 5. So this we can write 5 to the power 5 whole to the power 1 upon 5. Now there is an identity where a raised to the power m whole raised to the power n, it is equal to a raised to the power m times n. So this will be 5 raised to the power 5 times 1 upon 5. Now this 5 and this 5 will get cancelled. So this is equal to 5. That means fifth root of 3125 is equal to 5. And our answer is 5. Therefore, correct answer is 3125 under fifth root.